Is anybody there? Ta-da! Merry Christmas! I'm Sister Crap! Facebook doesn't like me. I had trouble setting up my camera. Oh, I forgot to put on my costume. Merry Christmas! Ha! I'm a nurse! Can you tell? From my costume, I'm a nurse! Ha! I save people! Crap! Let me get comfortable. Oh, there goes the tree. Oh, what was that? Shut up! I decorated! Now there's two of us. We're lesbians. If you're watching and celebrate Christmas, go over to your tree and make love to it. There. That'll just stay right there for the broadcast, okay? Is that all right? You can see, can't you? Here, I'll give you something pretty to look at. There's the ornament. It's an ornament. I see you're commenting, but I cannot read your comments because there's a tree in the way. I'm not sure this will work. I'm going to have to prune the tree. With my soap. Oh, it's not plugged in. Safety first. All the ornaments are coming off. Well, I'll just have to put them on this tree then. Sister Candy, it's not oh dear, it's oh reindeer. Get with the season, jeez. Not to malign someone on their birthday, but Jesus Christ. Sister Craps, reading of A Visit from St. Prick is brought to you by Crest White Strips. They're very good for your corneas. You just take them out of the box and peel them out of the little peeling thing, and then put them on your cornea, and then your corneas will be shiny for the Christmas season. If you leave them out on the counter long enough, they'll be crust white strips. That was humor. I forgot where the poem is. Before we can start, I need to disinfect you. There's a pandemic, you know. There, now I'm protected. Oh. Don't worry, if you come over and we have dinner, I have a mask. But I'm in my own home, so I don't need it because you're not here. I'm looking for the poem. I have it here, I swear. Does anyone know how to make this into a thermidor? It was right here. Oh, there it is. Are all of you homosexuals and homosexual adjacent people ready for the story? It's in poem form. Because poetry is the language of America. Right, and I'm Carol Channing. Are you ready? Hold your genitals in place. I do not want them shifting during the flight. 'Twas the Blight Before Christmas by Clement Clark Moore, or Samuel Clemens, or Sir Thomas More, or some idiot. You can tell he was heterosexual because there's no mention of anything sexual in here. There goes the tree again. 'Twas the Blight Before Christmas, when all through my vagina not a creature was stirring, because they weren't making cocoa on the stove. Not even a moose. It doesn't say whether it's the aminal moose or like a hair moose. Goddamn moose. The stockings were all hung by the prison gate with care, in hopes that St. Prickles soon would be hair sweet. The children, oh dear, there are children, this could get nasty, were all nestled by thugs in their beds, while visions of sugar plums, that's a euphemism for boobs, danced in their heads. I'm refraining from an obscene joke now. And Mamacita in her kerchief, Mamacita, I don't know this word. I think it's Palestinian. Mamacita in her kefir, and I am in my cups, I'll say. I just settled down for a long winter scrog. It's very boring. I'm pepping it up. When out on the lawnmower, there arose such a clap. I sprang from my bed because my wife discovered that I had been having an affair and was riddled with gonorrhea. Away to the window I flew like a superhero program on the CW. No, away to the window I flew and flashed the neighbors because I was wearing panties. And they weren't my wife's. I bought them myself. Tore open. It's kind of an odd notion to think that Sister Crap has a wife. Poor creature. Tore open the shutters, and threw up on the sash. Too many enchiladas. The moon on my breasts there was snow. Apparently there was some kind of snow on my breasts. That seems cold, but I don't know. Maybe I was trying to make ice cream. Given the lust of a midday to objects below. That line should be thrown out. It makes no sense here. When what to my wondering eyeballs should appear but a miniature slag. What's a slag? A miniature slag. I have them here. And 8 tiny reindeer. My shell is coming off. Okay, here they are. Here are the 8 tiny reindeer. 1, 2, 3. But a miniature sliege and 3 tiny reindeer. Ching, 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 ching. Look, they're pulling this. Where's the sleigh? They're pulling the sleigh. Ching, 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 ching. Ho, ho, ho. Ching, 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 ching. Very Christmassy. With a little fat pedophilic driver so lively and quick, I knew in a moment he must have a big... No, that's wrong. You knew that. I knew in a moment it must be St. Prick. Close. More rapid than eagles, his coursers they came. Gross. I hope he had a towel. And he whistled and shouted and called women bad names. Now Dashiell Hammett, now homosexual, now Prancer. See, told you. And Vixen, they're all gay whores. On Commie, on Stupid, on Donner Party, and Blitzkrieg. It's a terrible poem. On top of the pork, to the top of the hall, now dash away, Mrs. Dashaway. I can't believe it's not butter, Molly McButter, all. As dry leaves that before the wild hurricane fly. What kind of homosexual writes like that? When they meet with an obstacle, mount to the sky. So apparently he's telling us in poetry form that when there's a hurricane, you're supposed to have so much sex that the sexual partners you have pile up really high. So up on the housetop, the coursers, I still don't know what a course... Up the housetop, the Corsairs, they flew, the Corvair. So Santa Claus is in a Corvair, which is a car from the 60s. It's being pulled by chickens. With a sleigh full of goys, and St. Prickles too. And then in a twinkling I heard on the roof the prancing and pawing of each tiny little pervert. As I drew in my ham... Is that traditional at Christmas? I thought it was a goose or a turkey. And as I drew in my ham and was turning around, don't turn around, because the commissar is clearly in town. Down the chimney St. Prickles came with a bound. So apparently he gets off on S&M or bondage and discipline. I told you this was not going to be for children. He was dressed all in fur. S&M. From his head to his foot, and his clothes were all tarnished with asses and soot. A bundle of toys. You can imagine what's going through my mind right now. Toys. Those of you who have been with me in a certain bar in Silver Lake are aware of the nature of these toys, alleged. He had flung on his back. Apparently Santa Claus drives a sling. The chickens are pulling a sling. And he looked like a peddler opening his scrotum. That's just awful. His eyeballs, how they twinkled. Apparently he can pee through his tear ducts. His dimples, how merry. Apparently he has homosexual facial features. His cheeks were like roses. Oh, so the guy gets to see his butt now. His nose like a cherry. No comment. His drooling little mouth was drawn up like a bow. They called him ship face, I guess. And the beard of his chin, like where another beard is there. Well, I guess there's the beard of your taint, but that's called something else. Was as white as the snow. Santa does cocaine, apparently. The stump of a peep he held tight in his teeth. He holds people's stumps in his teeth. That's kinky. And the smoke of it encircled his head like a wreath. What do you get if you put the woman who sang Respect in a circle on your front door? What do you get? You get Aretha Franklin's. That was awful. He had a broad face and a little round belly that shook when he laughed like a bowl full of contraceptive jelly. He was chubby and plump and right jolly old wait, he's an elf? If he's an elf, why doesn't he make his own goddamn toys? Union! And I laughed when I saw him in spit, and I spit on myself. This poem is gross. He peed out of his eyeball and twisted his head. I think that's the end of the poem. I'm wrong. Look, here's the existentialist chapter. Yeah, clearly he's a furry. He's covered in fur, and I guess his fur name is Claws, so he's got claws, so clearly he's a furry. With a sling pulled by chickens. Soon gave me to know, biblically, I had nothing to dreadlock. He spoke not a word, oh, he's like Buster Keaton, but went gay to his work and filled all the stockings. Now he's into like a drag fetish, and turned with a jerk off. You saw that coming, so to speak. And laying a finger aside of his holes, and giving a nod, up my chimney he rose. Okay, I altered the words a little to be sexual. Did I mention I've been in this bathtub for 9 freaking months? Sister freaking Unity gets the rest of the apartment. She gets to use the kitchen. She gets to sleep in a bed. But where does Sister Crab have to stay? She has to stay in the dog cage or the bathtub. Bathtub or the dog cage. 2 choices. And if I have to go to the bathroom, there's a drain. Quote unquote. Sister goddamn Unity. Oh, I raise money for charity. I'm so pretty. I'm so orange. Oh, if you squeeze me, you get juice. Ho, ho, ho. Sexual innuendo. She couldn't fuck a bug if it opened its hole in front of her. And he sprang to his slag. To his team gave a whistle. Oh, now he's sexually attracted to his own chickens. And away they all flew, like the down of a Teheistley. Is that a Native American term? Teheistley. They flew like the down on a Teheistley? But if you know what that means, please write it in the comments. But I heard him exclaim, Erie drove out of Siggit. Happy Christmas to all. Happy Christmas to hell. And to hell, good night. Well, he got that wrong. It's not Happy Christmas, it's Merry Christmas. The only people who say Happy Christmas are limeys. Freaking colonizers. I would like now, having finished that awful poem, to recount a story of my personal hero. Please type in the comments if you've had enough, or if you would care to hear a story that was written by a doctor whose name was Geisel. Clearly he was German, so this will not end well. Look, I ate an elf. That's all that's left of him. Mr. Hanky did visit me, Bill. I ate him. Where do you think I get this at the corners of my mouth? He was very tasty. Clearly his previous owner was having tacos 8 hours earlier. Karen S. COVID wants a story. Does anyone else want another story, or have you had enough of me ruining your goddamn religious holiday? I suppose I shouldn't say goddamn, because he's going to have a kid, so he better stick around and pass out cigars. Once upon a time, there was a village of very stupid people. They were so stupid they didn't even know their names. They just kept going. When someone would talk about someone, they couldn't remember the name, so everyone would go, who? And the person would go, I don't know, just someone. And they go, who? And the person would go, I don't know. So they just called each other who's, because they were so stupid they couldn't remember their names. So the who's were stupid, And because they were stupid, and here's where I'm going to get political, because they were stupid, they worshipped a tree, and they were materialistic, and they gave each other expensive crap on one day of the year, and then just screwed off the rest of the year. So these materialistic idiots spent a year worshipping a tree that they put in the middle of town, and then everyone had to go and put a miniature version of the tree in their own house, which was really stupid because inevitably every year one of them tried to put lit candles on their stupid tree and it would catch fire and burn up and they would all die, including the children, because the children always sleep upstairs, and what's the last place you can get out of in a house fire is the upstairs, duh. What, children gonna jump out the window so they either die in the fire or they fracture their bones and die that way? These were stupid people. Heteronormative as well. So, but these people were stupid. Fortunately, there was a really smart guy who lived nearby. And he lived up on a mountain. And he lived in a cave in the mountain with a weasel named Spot. And this guy was called the Greenwich because he grew up in Greenwich Village. And he went to Choate, which is a private school in Connecticut. And that's why he was smart, because he graduated from Choate. He went to Princeton. That's a bigger private school where you can learn math. And so he was smart and they were stupid. And he was looking down at them all the time and he was like, these people are stupid. They're worshipping a tree again. So then, no, Brian, just whore. You can cut off the last part. So then he looked out, he was like, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to save these people from themselves because they're doing stupid things. So everyone went to sleep and he was like, okay, I'm going to go down and I'm going to take away all of the stupid trees and all the materialism and force them into a kind of Buddhist self-restraint in which they will have to contemplate the nature of contentment when it is not based on outer circumstances and material gain. So he went down to the town and he stole the tree in the middle of the town and he took all of the ornaments that were holy objects placed on the tree to worship it by making it pretty, because basically that's what religion does, is it makes things that it likes very pretty, and that's called worship. And then he went into every single house and he stole their trees, and then he stole all the materialistic presents, like expensive toys and computers and jewelry, and then he took them and he put them in a sack and he put them on a sled, and he took them back up to the mountain, and then he watched and he waited all through the night until it was daybreak, because the next day was the big material day when everyone worshipped the tree. And then he was on the mountain in the sleigh, but because he was really smart, he didn't know much about physical things, because smart people aren't very physical, ever. And then, so he didn't know about skiing and tobogganing and luge. He did not have a lugeicant. And so the sled nearly fell off the mountain. And he was watching the stupid people, and the stupid people, this is how stupid they were doing, so stupid! They walked out of their houses and they stood in the middle of their town and they sang to a tree that wasn't even there. And do you want to know what they sang? They sang, ring silver bells, carol of the bells, rolling up the year, sing of the carol, carol is a bell. No, I'm sorry, that's not. They sang, oh, little goat of Babylon, how still we see thee lie upon the altar, while the priests will stab you with curvy knives. No, that's not what they sang. They said, oh, I know. They sang, come, they told me, pa-rum-pum on my bum. I learned that one in 4th grade. No, that's not what they said. Oh, I know. They sang, Pabu Dore, Pabu Dore, I'm a stupid, stupid who. And they kept singing all morning. So the Mr. Greenwich Village, he saw this, and then the sleigh slipped. It was going to fall off the mountain. And so, because he was so intelligent, he figured out how to invent a lever out of his pet weasel, and he pried the sled back onto the mountain, and he decided that these people were just not going to get any smarter. So he rode the sled back into the town, and he gave everyone back their trees. And he said, okay, you people are just not going to change, so instead of letting you look so entirely stupid by singing to nothing, I'm going to give you back your trees, and now you can sing to your trees and look slightly less stupid. And then they had their big celebration feast, and then he decided that he better be the person who carved all the food, because they would probably hurt themselves with the knives because they were stupid. And that's how smart and generous my friend Mr. Greenwich Village is. The end. What time is it? I have to go wrap presents. Do you want to see my wrapping paper? Wrapping paper. This broadcast has been... Wait a minute, I didn't show you my earrings this whole time. There, can you see my earrings? Get out there. Earrings, earrings, Pabu Dore, earrings, earrings, everyone. Those are the two stories I wanted to tell you. I'm going to spend the rest of Christmas Eve with my traditional Christmas pet, Lucille. I love you. You're so pretty. This is Lucille. Her last name is Fagala. Lucille Fagala. Why is this night unlike all other nights? Because there's a Messiah that's going to be born, and we've been waiting for a long time. Wait a minute. If tonight is Christmas Eve, and there's a star on Christmas Eve, but he's not born until tomorrow, how is there already a star when he's not even born till tomorrow? Someone figure that out. Call MIT and figure that out. Call my friend the Grimmage and see if he can figure it out. More stories? I don't know anymore. Okay, fine. Once upon a time, there was a lady, and she was very nice. And she was so nice that she let God scrog her. She was already married, but she was like 13 years old, so she didn't know anything about anything. So God scrogged her, but he didn't do it, in an offensive way. He scrogged her with a pigeon. So there was a pigeon that scrogged this nice 13-year-old lady. And then she went and told her husband, and her husband, who was not the brightest bulb in the pack, he was okay with it, because he was like, well, if a holy pigeon scrogs you, I guess that's not infidelity. So he was a cuckold. And then he went on later to found the Proud Boys. And then, they had to pay taxes. Yeah, they had to pay taxes because Augustus Caesar wanted to put golden nipples on his armor plate. So he needed money, and he had to get it from people who lived in Israel. So to go pay taxes, they had to go to a city, because that's where the tax office was, because nothing was online. Because it's Israel, and Israel is hot. And it's so hot that you can't run computers there. That's why there are no computers in Israel to this day. So they went to the office, and the woman in the office, the woman who ran the office was named Beth. So they went to Beth's office, and they had ham. No, wait, they're Jewish. they had ham made out of seitan. And it was so awful that from that moment on, everyone who worshipped this lady's son hated seitan. And to this day, you can hear his followers denouncing seitan because it's fake meat. So they went to Beth to pay their taxes, but when they got there, the line was so long, they decided they had to get a motel. So they went to the motel, and the guy who ran the motel was like, okay, no. And so they were like, but wait. And then he said, okay, you can sleep in the dumpster. So they went out to the dumpster, and then she gave birth in the dumpster. And then, and so everyone swaddled. I don't know what that means, but you do it when you give birth, and it's not in a hospital. So they swaddled her kid, and then there was a star. It was Elkie Summer. So Elkie Summer was in the sky telling everybody to go and find this kid in the dumpster because he was mangy. She said, go and follow me to find this mangy kid. And then there were 3 guys who were so smart that they got to run a country, and they brought they brought Merv Griffin. They brought presents for this kid, and one was Merv Griffin, and one was Franken Sinatra, and the other was Goldie Hawn. So they followed Elkie Summer because they knew her, not biblically. And then they gave Goldie Hawn and Frank Sinatra and Merv Griffin to this kid so he could start a talent agency. And then what happened? Oh, and then he got lost for a bunch of years and went to India and studied Buddhism and yoga. And then he came back and gave up his job as a carpenter. And then he refinished some tables for some bank people who had an office in the temple. And then, but no one liked it because it was bad shellacking or finishing or something. So they gave him to the Romans. And then the Romans were like, we can't keep him because we're Romans, so we don't stay put. So you have to just stick him up somewhere where we can find him when we come back. So everyone they stuck him on a stick so they could find him again. But he was very impatient, and then he died, and that's why we have Easter. So, happy Easter, everybody! Happy Easter! I hope you find lots of eggs tomorrow. And I hope you enjoy your meal, traditional Easter meal of rabbit. Okay, that was 3 stories. I feel that you should pay me for more. Yes, Bill, the Roman holiday spa. Have you been to a spa? I live in Koreatown with Sister Yumimi, and we go to the Korean spa. Well, she goes and I follow her, and then she locks me in the steam room. She keeps saying she hopes it peels off, but I don't know what she's talking about. Anyway, we go to the spa. So that was my origin of Easter story. Happy Arbor Day. You can see I am dressed to celebrate Arbor Day. I think I've used everything I have that's funny. Wait, no I haven't. Is Karen Eskakovid still there? Merry Christmas! You want to come over and we'll play Joseph and Mary? And I'll play the divine pigeon that knocks you up. Oh, you know what? Maybe it wasn't a pigeon that God used to scrog her. Maybe it was a turkey. Just saying. Oh, I get it. Because God is ephemeral. He doesn't have a form. So, in a way, Jesus didn't have a father down there to raise him. And because God used a turkey baster to impregnate Mary, a holy turkey to impregnate Mary, then all like Jesus, all kids who are like Jesus, who don't have a dad right there, are called bastards. Because like Jesus, they were conceived with a divine turkey baster, so they're bastards. Ha! Logic! Don't let Sister Moomini ever tell you she's the smart one, because it's me. Me. I didn't grow up in Greenwich Village and go to Choate or Princeton. I went to where the smart people go. I went to Cornell. I'm preserving my DNA in the sink. That way, one day when I'm gone, you can still have a lot of crap. This concludes our broadcast for the evening. I wish to thank all 11 of you for attending on Christmas Eve. I hope I was appropriate for the occasion. Wait, what? Is that applause? For me? Another curtain call? No, I could not. No, that's silly. Well, if you insist. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Oh, we're the Boys of Chorus. We hope you like our show. We know you're rooting for us, but now we have to go. The first Noel. The angels did say was to frighten poor shepherds in fields where they lay their sheep and got gonorrhea. Thanks, shepherds. Really appreciate the venereal disease. Go tell it on the mountain, over the hills and every hayer. Go tell it on the mountain that Easter is coming soon. I set the dove on the rafter high. I called him to sleep so he would not cry. I called him to sleep. My mate and I set the dove on the rafters getting high. Don't do drugs, it ruins your skin. Then I played for him, pa-rum-pa-bum-bum. I played my breasts for him, pa-rum-pa-bum-bum. I played a breast for him, pa-rum-pa-bum-bum. The ox and lamb kept time, pa-rum-pa-bum-bum, rum-pa-bum-bum, rum-pa-bum-bum, on a chicken's bum. Then he smiled at me, pa-rum-pa-bum-bum, and asked me for my Instagram login. Moo, 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 moo. That was an inside joke, and the only person who will understand it is now dead. That was an homage. Why are you still here? You have to leave first. Silver balls, silver balls. It's Christmas time in the bathhouse. Hear them ring. They were expensive. How much do you think gay men can pay for prosthetic testicles? Hark the hairy angels snog. Glory to rum in eggnog. I hope you're writing these down. Oh, tan my bum. Oh, tan my bum. You know, when you think of it, the torture of this thing is that it's really just a string of awful puns. Sister Candy's got her head in the toilet right now. Here comes Peter Cottontail doing meth and trying to wipe the cum off his happy trail. I hope my family's not still watching. The first. Oh, I already did that one. The second Noel was not to the shepherds, 'cause the shepherds got the first one, so they can go to hell. Go to hell, go to hell, go to hell, go to... What do you mean, go there? You people are in it right now. Hello, what are you watching me for? Well, now there's only 8 of you, so we have 8 to get rid of before I can get out of the bathtub. Good evening, ladies and germs, and welcome to Las Vegas. My name is Sister Crap Sinatra, and I'll be your hostess this evening. How about those boobs on them showgirls, eh? Okay, fine. You tell me a story. Write it in the comments. Everyone take turn and write a sentence. Once upon a time, there was a reindeer. Go. I'm waiting. Hurry up, I'm waiting. I have to wash my vagina. Krampus is coming over later and we're going to do it. Oh, only 7 left. Hurry up and leave, all 7 of you. Karen, you can stay. You're pretty. This is going to be the rest of the broadcast. You people are tenacious.
Hello, and Merry Christmas. My name is Tiny Tim, and I want to tell you about the season of joy and giving. Unfortunately, I'm a puppet being run by Sister Crap, and I don't know the first thing about joy or giving. Sex, however, I've got down pat. Woo-hoo!
If you have enjoyed this Christmas broadcast for free, then I recommend you make a donation. I recommend you donate to people who can't have the kind of fun we're having. There's homeless, gay, lesbian, and trans teenagers in every city in the nation. Please look up some resources. You can go to ladragnuns.org or lasisters.org. I don't know which one's working right now. And click on resources and scroll down till you find the charities that help trans and LGBT youth who are homeless. You can also Google charities and then the name of your city and for homeless LGBT or for trans youth and make a goddamn Christmas donation, because there's some people out there who have to suck cock just for a place to sleep on freaking Christmas night. And if that didn't guilt trip you into spending 20 more bucks on a present to someone who can't get any because their family kicked them out of their house, then I don't know what will. You know what? Think of it as making Trump eat shit every time you make a donation. How about that? That'll get you to do it? Good. Merry Christmas.